All right, testing. Notice the funding opportunity pipeline safety research competitive academic agreement program. Fiscal year 2019, opening date March 22nd, 2019, closing date May 3rd, 2019. Closing time 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Catalog of extra domestic assistance number 2724. Phmsa opportunity number 693JK319NF00005. All applicants must be registered with the grants gov to apply with the grant. This is highly recommended applicants with the registration soon as possible to avoid delay with the submission. Application is must maintain a valid Dun Bradstreet universal numbering system number and an active registration with the system awards management at SAMSGov. Furthermore, application must register with the FedConnect with account before submitting the application. Your organization partner ID number, which can be retrieved from SAM, is required to create an account. For instruction on how to register with the FedConnect, how to use the portal, view FedConnect ready and set to go for tutorial. Need help and set FedConnect homepage. Alright, Article 1, Program Description 101, Stated Purpose 102, Program Authority 103, Background 104, Research Topics 105, Deliverables Article 2, Award Information 201, Funding 202, Cost Sharing 203, Period of Performance 204, Type of Awards, Article 3, Eligibility Information 301, Eligible Applicants 302, Minimum Requirements. Section 4, Registration Application Submission Information 401, Application Submission Medium 402, Grants Government Registration 403, Question Deadline 404, Application Submission Deadline Article 5, Application Content and Format 501, Technical Proposal 502, Budget Cost Proposal and Budget Narrative 503, Standard Title 6 of Non-Discriminating Assurances Section 405, Lobbying Article 6, Application Review Information 601, Evaluation Criteria 602, Scoring Guidelines 603, Review Selection Process 8, Article 7, Agency Contact Information Attachment A, Technical Application Template Attachment B, Standard Title 6, Non-Discriminating Assurances, and Title C, Terms and Conditions. Alright, Program Summary. Federal Agency, U.S. Department of Transportation Pipeline Hazard Safety Administration, Federal Agency, Contact U.S.Phmsa, Acquisition Service Division, PHF 20, 1200 New Jersey Avenue, Southeast Washington, D.C., E22306, Washington, D.C. 20590, Attempt Ben Patterson, Funding Opportunity Pipeline Safety Research Competitive Academic Agreement Program, Fiscal Year of 2019. Announcement Type and Initial Announcement Funding Opportunity Number 693JK319F NF005, Federal Domestic Assistance Number 20724. Eligible applicants must be in the nonprofit institution higher education located in the United States, U.S. territory or possession. Dates and notice of funding opportunity issue date March 22nd, 2019. Operating question deadline April 12th, 2019, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard. Application due date May 3rd, 2019, 11 Eastern Standard. Grant Gov questions. Contact number 1-800-518-472. Support at GrantsGov. All right, Article 1, Program Description. 101, Statement of the Purpose of the U.S. Department of Transportation Pipeline Hazard Safety Administration hereby requests the application for the nonprofit institute higher education of the competitive academic agreement program funding to research and initiative solution for the pipeline corrosion and other known pipeline integrity challenges. Section 102, the Program Authority, Phmsa Pipeline Safety Research Development is authorized pursuant to the Pipeline Safety Improvement Act of the 2002, Public Law 107-355, Title 49, U.S. Standard Code 60101, with the authority to enter with a cooperative agreement with a competitive academic agreement program codified in Title 49, 6117K. Section 103, Background. Section 103.1, Background of the Pipeline, Phmsa Pipeline Research and Development Program, competitive academic agreement program is subject to the available operation. Phmsa anticipates awarding up to $2 million federal funding without notice for the $250,000 per award. Research is conducted under the agreements will be set. Solution corrosion and other pipeline integrity challenges. Phmsa anticipates period performance of each of the year not less than 24 months while not exceeding 36 months. The pipeline infrastructure of the U.S. Primary means for the transportation of the natural gas for the majority of the head liquid production basins, ports, their consumption, importance, energy, pipelines, the U.S. economy of their standard living potential for safety, environmental impacts required. These assets may be obtained safely and expanded appropriately meet the demand. Research must play a large role with the finding a solution in the national, regional, local pipeline with the operating safety, environmental challenges. Some of the challenges include the ensuring operation of the best technology efficiently and effectively with the federal and state with the regulatory requirements, safety, integrity of the pipelines, other challenges include the keeping of the critical industry with the consensus that staying fresh with the latest knowledge of the people, property, and the environment are protected. PHMSA Cobra pipeline research and development includes all stakeholders and time-tested process for the generation source success. Since 2002, pipeline safety research and development have been focused on the nearer term by demonstrated deploying technology to development and commercialization. Additional information existing pipeline safety research and development is available at Premius PHMSA.gov-RD Index Recharge ATM. The research enterprise will continue with the tangible impact for the town toward developing technology, strengthening consensus standard with the creating and promoting general knowledge of decision makers. Most performance details are available at the PHMSA Pipeline Safety Research website, PhmSA.gov, RD Performance HCM. Section 103, background, competitive academic agreement program. Pipeline Safety Improvement Act of 2002 mandate that DOT and the other designated federal agency carry out the program research, development, and demonstrate the standardization to ensure integrity pipeline facilities specified by the PHMSA Pipeline Safety Research Development Mission to sponsor the research and development project focused on the providing near-term solution will improve the safety, reduce the environmental impact, and enhance the reliability of the nation's pipeline transportation system. The goals and objective of the Caap competitive academic agreement program and initiative is discussed below with the directly support by the mission with a congressional mandate with the competitive academic agreement program initiative. It is intended for the super innovation of the engaged academic research found on the highest technical risk, high payoff solutions for many of the pipeline safety challenges. Potential delivery solution that can be handed off of the PHMS score research from the demonstrated the deployment of the goals validate the proof concept of this and the thesis theory of all the way with the commercial implementation into the market. The pipeline industry with the federal state regulators are experiencing low numbers for the give the entry level position technically focused. Consequently, another of the goal of the competitive academic agreement program and initiative with the engaged graduate with a PhD research student to participate in subject for the matter tasks of the common for the pipeline safety challenges to illustrate how they are engineering technical disciplines highly needed in the field. Ultimate benefit would be to cultivate of the new talent all aspects for the pipeline industry, similar to how the program of the federal agency nonprofit organization have engaged the talent to conserve the certain career in certain fields. Section 104, research topics. For the PHMSA, solicitation proposal, the three primary research and development focuses are based on technical gaps identified with the PHMSA November 2016 in the Government Industrial Pipeline Research Forum. These need the needs of the U.S. DOT. The research forum brought together approximately 230 representatives of the federal, state, and the federal government offices, along with the domestic and foreign national gas that has the liquid pipeline operative. The research reforms include identifying key challenges with the facing of the industry with the government sharing information on current research efforts with identifying with the research that can help to meet the challenge. The research forum for the further of the pipeline research considered a nation collaboration producing national research agenda relative to the stakeholder consensus while the researcher will be solicited to address the identified pipeline challenges. Visit HEMTPS PHMSA.gov RTMTG underscore 111616 HTML for more information. Important to have the crafting topics associated with in this announcement. PHMS only consider the parole of the addressing the technical gaps within the onshore safety program listed with the national notice of field funding operation proposal opportunity. Proposal submitted past the closing of the day of the outside of the identified program listed below with the review and further consideration. Focus area for the initial ambitious, broad enough to allow for the acceptance of the wide spectrum specific proposals, strategical support with the PHMS and pipeline safety proposals are focused on high technical risk with high payoff solutions for many pipeline safety challenges and anticipated outcomes potentially delivered solutions that can hand off the PHMS core research program. Each applicant must address only one of the following primary pipeline safety programs areas per proposal submission. Application must submit applicants may submit multiple proposals. All right, research 1, area 1, anomaly detection and characterization. Background, active advancement of the non-destructive inspection methods that have continued to increase the sophistication capabilities, allowing for detection of the more pipeline anomalies array with the geometry, the depth, the severity, the type of the however the current technology are limited to identify the interactive anomalies. The National Safety Transportation Board released safety recommendation public law 15010 or P15010, which recommends PHMSA update guidelines for the gas transmission pipeline operators and inspectors. The evaluation interact with the rest of the guidelines shall live over the threats of the interaction that must be evaluated. Simple method to be used for the project to further enhance the pipeline safety with the solution identifying the characteristics of the interaction with the national safety Transportation Board and calls to evaluation. Successful proposals suggest the non-destructive evaluation capability to be employed with the data processing approach of the character of the anomalies. Will the project with a 2 or 3 year time frame of these proposals include the roadmap for the future commercialization 3 to 5 years for the highly sought out after. Research area 2, develop the ILI technology circumferential anomalies. The collect with the PHMSA and invested highly when the improvements of the inline inspection technology stored variety of the integrity of the threats over the the primary preliminary research was found with the circumferential cracking detection characterization, cracking density, particularly with the pipes on the side, creating a driver for the additional research for the development. The project should have developed the valve of the inline inspection technology comply with the B31G. Remaining strength of the corroded pipe with the R strength with the detect with the circumferential cracking characterized with the severity of the dent. In particular, bottom side of the project should be quantity, quantify the bending of the stress, include with the contribution of the geotechnical environmental conditions. Upon successful completion of the phase analysis of the government industry data for the comply with the current practice of the performance of it should be fact for the inline inspection pull test for the non-destructive testing and destructive testing while considering the effect of the temperature change with the thermal variability of the pipeline regardless of the stress added with the climatic and operational drive and temperature variations. Research Area 3, unmanned aerial systems to enhance pipeline safety. In background, unmanned aerial systems use the both line on the side of the beyond line of the unmanned aerial vehicle to potentially provide with the safe regulatory regime with the visual access to the areas that would otherwise inaccessibly due to the rough terrain, inclement weather, other adverse conditions. Furthermore, USA collected information might provide with the pipeline with the ability to determine the regulatory compliance with the enhanced the incident response from the pipeline for the natural disasters. The anticipation increased by the unmanned aerial systems managed to gather information for the informative decision. U.S. dot with the PHMSA off the pipeline safety with the explore the unmanned aerial systems applicable to the pipeline safety. Several of the safety benefits of the unmanned aerial system using the pipeline potential include the leak detection, geological impact with the pipeline with the sphere of the natural events. Expectation that we'll be able to directly collect information about the pipeline field of the condition with the promptly rely on the pipeline operator to collect the information maybe to even identify the safety risks. PHMSA does not wish to dictate potential solutions in some area with the interest of the Office of Pipeline Safety. Right away with the conditions general for the on the condition land movement following flooding of third-party excavation, river crossing condition would include the recent change of the location verification per Title 149, 192, 609, and 611, the accidental response assessment, bill side of the trajectory, above ground tank inspection, national pipeline mapping system, accuracy of verification. Proposals should be considered the safety requirements of the unmanned aerial visual platform with the risk of the ignition with the unconsequent platform's failure. Accessory solution should be considered for the unmanned aerial system instrumental board beyond visual record, but they allow for the collection of the risk of leak. Data solution should operate with the Part 107 of the FAA regulations with approval of the pipeline right-of-way owners and effect of the public, while the full unmanned aerial system capability may be not demonstrated with the FAA restriction potential beyond line of sight with the capabilities will consider final proposal task. Section 105 to 5 deliverables. The following deliverables will cover the award agreement with the report for templates of the guide with the provide one award documents are signed. Hold kick off the meeting, submit with the performance progress from the reports. Performing content according to the SFPPR. Note reporting period begin with the effective date of the cooperative agreement. Quarterly progress report with the view of the email uploaded PHMSA research database no later than the NLLT 30 days of the reporting period with the prepare with the travel to present and post a remote with the government with the public event one time per year with the draft the final research of the NLT 30 days prior to the agreement of the expiration, provide the review for the public for final research for the once review of the comments incorporated with the draft of the closed internet-based presentation. Alright, Article 2, award information. Subject to the availability with the PHMSA anticipates awarding up to $2 million and the amount of the federal funding may not exceed $2,500, $250,000 applicable may submit with the one application. Individual access may not exceed $250,000 federal funding. See Section 103. Section 2, to cost sharing. Mandatory minimum 20% of the cost sharing of the competitive academic agreement program agreements pursuant to the Title Statute 22B C2 of the PI Pipes Act of the 2016 federal government will no longer for more than 80% of each of the approved project for the federal letters commitment with the resource sharing with must be provided with the proposal without commitment letters. Resource sharing will be reviewed with the consideration of an award. Section 502 additional information regarding budget and cost proposals. Section 203 period of performance. PHMSA anticipates the period of performance no less than 24 hours exceeding 36 months for the day of the award of each agreement and modification for the scope of the cooperative agreement to be handled between the party for the case-to-case basis. PHMSA it anticipates awarding under the agreements during the third quarter of the April to June fiscal year of 2019. Section 204, type of award, all awards resulting announcements will be issued with cooperative agreement. Section 3, eligibility information, eligibility applicants. Applicants must be nonprofit higher institution higher education located in the United States, U.S. territory possession. PHM must give the application eligible to higher education institute. The partners will other eligible recipients in the pipeline industry without the private organization, along with the cost of the proposed partnership design, see 20% of the proposed amount of the federal contribution in the project, which may be up to $250,000. Historically, black colleges and universities and minority institutions are encouraged to submit applications of their own in collaboration with others. There are no portion of the requirement that will be assessed reserved exclusively for either of the groups identified above. Alright, Section 302 of the minimum requirement. The following minimum requirements the applicant must meet with the conservative favor of the meet the requirement of the date time of the pre-post or post award will result in either removing the applicant for the further consideration terminate the agreement of the application, include the letter of the submitting institution, letterhead certified with the minimum requirements understood that will be met. The letter must be signed by the dean with the equivalent level of the college department and program and insert the appendix A of the technical application first page of the appendix. Each eligible applicant for the nonprofit institution higher education with located with the U.S. territory or possession academic research agreement will be in the institution, not with the individual students or faculty or staff. The research scope of the must be exceeded with the undergraduate or graduate PhD with the research student. The institution faculty staff should be designed with the scope of the oversee the student the execution of the project scope of the application. Do not propose the student involved in the deemed non-responsible will be removed from consideration. No, the students must be identified no later than the first quarter of the period of the performance. Institution facility and staff of students are proposed to be involved with the research agreement must be U.S. citizens, permanent residents, possess current visas with allow them to remain in the current country long enough to complete with the research project. Funding is solely allowable to cost necessary to execute the research project within the institution. Overhead or procurement expense required labor to purchase new existing technique equipment is not performed in federal fund, but the federal funding cannot be used toward construction of a new facility, refurbishing existing facilities. Applications must meet with the sharing requirements stipulated within Section 202. Failure to meet the required cost sharing threshold of 20% will result in the application being removed from consideration. Article 4 of the registration application submission information failure to comply with the requirements described in this section shall result in the application not being reviewed. Section 401 application submission medium. Application required to submit the completion of application through grants.gov. Section 402 for the grants.gov of the Federal Connect registration submission for the application must be registered for the grants.gov. The new user must register for their account. Please note that the users registered for the grants gov can take up to 2 weeks to complete. For the additional question of how to register, contact with the grants gov support. Additional application must register with the Fed Connect with, for example, the account with the before submitting application, organization, marketing partner ID number, or NPIN, which can be retrieved with the system award management SAMS.gov. They require with the created account with the instruction register for the Fed Connect. How to use the before with the you Fed Connect ready set to go tutorial need help with the section of the Fed Connect homepage. Each applicant is required with one research for the SAM before submitting the application. To provide with the dumb number of the via valid dumb number of the application with the continue with the valid maintaining the SAM registration current information over the time during the federal award. An applicant understanding PHMSA may not make the grant award to the applicant, but the applicant comply with the dealings and SAM requirement. The PHMSA review the SAM registration status to make a responsible determination. All right, Section 403 question to the line. All the questions regarding the notice of funding opportunity but must be submitted to the message center of the Federal Connect. Please do not submit the question be for the PHMSA not reasonable for the answer question that will receive the question date and due time. But all questions must receive them before April 12th, 2019, 11 a.m. the Eastern Standard Date of time to be considered. Answer all the question will be put with the grants gov as an amendment initial announcement. 404 application submission deadline complete with the application for the receive the electronic with the grants 11 a.m. the Eastern Standard Time May 3rd, 2019. No later proposal to consider evaluation application receives automated receive the grant gov the day of the time application submission time listeners of submission comes and the question day of the time record with the grant gov to proceed over the MIS. Section 405 of the funding restriction construct not allowable the activity for the announcement equivalent not allowable to purchase for the under the announcement funds are not available to reimbursement pre-federal award costs. Article 5 the application for the content of the format so I have a one technical proposal employing the technical proposal applicant must use the technical application template with a test for the attach A the attachment instrument regarding the required content information application must only be defined with the reasonable with the of the proposed period of performance. The following technical application requirements are summarized below. Describe the detail of the provided the template failure to follow these requirements shall result in the removal of the application for the consideration. All information for the support of the evaluation criteria of the client must be 20 pages or less, which does not include the cover level of the technical application information page of the appendix, certification level of the minimum requirements must be first page of the appendix. The appendix may include additional information. However, the information will be not used for the reviewers evaluating proposal, except to determine each of the applications submitted with a certification letter regarding minimum requirements of reference to section 302. Times New Roman 12 point and 1.115 line with a paragraph spacing text body. Our technical proposal of the format described in the attachment A must be uploaded to the project narrative of the section. The grant scope of the application. Section 502 for the budget copy of the budget narrative. Proposal. The application for the standard form 424 A with the grant for the government must be submitted with the budget copy budget with the copy of the proposal of the budget reflect with the applicant best term with the copy of the technical standpoint to perform the work and no fee for the profit that should be provided with the research for the sharing agreement. Additional budgetary information broken out with the described with the subparagraph through A through H below must be provided with the detailed information each of the cost element consistent with the application of the cost and accounting system. The amounts requested for each of the budget category must be justified with the budget narrative document uploaded with the budget narrative section of the application. The budget narrative must also be addressed the following items. Personal list, individual, all personnel included, each of the requested hour of the funding with the respective of the compensation, salary, wage for the fringe benefit of this section of the budget narrative must include the following information: supplemental schedule with identified with the number of the hours, hourly rate for the cost by labor to the classification each for the budget year. Basic explanation for the budget, proposed number of the hours and hourly rate for the incident of the number of hours based on the past experience with the engineering estimate of the success rate. How the hourly rates could be accurate. Actually, rate for the involved will perform the work average labor classification available average rate. Departmental average rate. The increase of the individual salary ranges, wages, the increase between the budget, explain with the base, the increase with the provided the substantial documentation available. Fringe benefits. The application must provide with a copy of the web link university policy stating with the appropriate fringe rate for the each of the labor classification. Travel the budget for the travel for the must be directly relate with the performance of the project with the budget narrative, state of the reef of the travel, the type of the duration, travel the relations of the project. Additional recipient must anticipate the travel request the PHMS to present the findings up to each 12 of the years 12 months of the project will provide the itemized list of the associated travel costs. Our equipment supplies provide the item list for the proposed supply of the include the individual cost of each item of the following exceeding $5,000 basically the estimate of the cost vendor quotes catalog price for the private invoice etc. Preference section of the 302 but the item 5 of the list for the day of the purchasing new with existing testing equipment will not be permitted. Contractual consultant with the subcontractor list name of the consultant describe the activities performed, the duration for the consolation with the compensation involved to provide with the hourly daily rate along with the base for the rate with the furnished resume with similar information regarding the qualification experience provide with at least 2 set invoices reflecting the hour duly rate charged with the charge to the customer rather than the government states time with the consultant with the certification of his or her ability salary must be provided with the travel the incidental expense with the ready charge on the beginning of the basis for these calls. The proposed subcontractor provided the total cost per the year, but the detailed subcontractor cost should be approved with the subcontractor budget explanation. Total cost cancellation subcontractors must not exceed 20% of the proposed amount of the federal contribution to the project. Other direct costs provided itemized list of the associated cost of any of the item list above the direct costs not included with any other category in another category, such as the basis for each of the proposed item. Indirect categories provide the charges, provide the copy of the web link university negotiated indirect rate with their agreement, and explain with the demonstration of how the total indirect charges were calculated. Alright, resource sharing and in-house contribution. Cost budget proposals must show the breakouts between the federal and non-federal funding source of the budget, and must explain with the non-federal source of the compromise how the associated value to provide the non-federal contribution may include with the cash for the personnel donated. The good services provided with the market value with the good services substantiated by a letter other than the form of the evidence for the provided with the good service equipment of the other resource of the resource of the matching contribution, including the cash the third-party contribution must meet the following criteria, which can be found in the CFR 200-306, cost sharing and matching. Are verifiable the non-federal entity records. 2, they are not included with the contribution of any other federal award. 3, any necessary responsible accomplishment of the project program and objectives. 4, they allow the unearned part, subpart E with the cost principal of the part. And 5, that I am paid with the federal government under the federal award. Except for the federal statute with the authority of the program specified with the provided with the federal funds made available to such program can be applied to the matching cost sharing requirements of other federal programs and are provided with the approved the budget when required by the federal awarding agency conform to the other provisions as part of it. As applicable, Section 503, the standard Title 6 of the non-discrimination assurances. Applicant signed the date of the return of the applicant with the standard Title 6 non-discrimination assurance with the specified attachment B standard Title 9-6 of the discrimination assurance specifically applicable must be complete with the return attachment B with the complete with the documents submitted with the attachment of the other application materials. Alright, Section 504, lobbying funds may not be used with the direct support litigation lobbying directed by advocacy against the pipeline construction and expansion of the project with the pipeline policy matter of the activities associated regulatory compliance with the typical operation maintenance of the pipeline facility to consider for award. Each applicant must include the signed lobbying form SFAB, standard form LLL. Section 6, article application review information 601, evaluation criteria, PHMSA scoring guidelines 602 with the rate with the selected among the completing application for the evaluation criteria for the items of the far left column on the table located in section 602. The criteria identified by the project with the highly targeted technical risk area other than well defined with the produce the result of the measurable, the transferable, the further investigation of the competitive academic agreement plan or PHMSA core research program. And ensures your applicability solution explanatory properly proposal adroitly address the topic need. The adequate proposal adequate must be the topic as need and needs improvement between the topic or needs. And then you have originality, a proposed solution, and scientific your scientific manner with the proposal suggest original solution topic area with the benefit to provide with excellent source of discussion. Proposal solution adequate, and then technical readiness. SME, oversight, research, partnering, and research goal, objective of the work scope of the task, and milestone, research facilities, student involvement, presentation quality, proposed presentation. 603, review of the selection process of the HMSA conduct initial administrative review of the applicant to determine if they complete with me for the minimum eligibility requirements of Article 3 eligibility information team of the HMSA representative of the potential industrial expertise. Experts conducting a review of the evaluate their A rate of each of the applications scoring guideline with section 602. The evaluate the acceptable budget for the application will be recommended award of the base of the technical merit rating scoring guideline. Final award of the recommendation will be made by the PHMSA administrator after technical consideration. Recommendation may be made by the technical evaluation panel. Final award decision will be made by the Secretary of Transportation. Article 7, the agency contact with agreement related questions. Primary point of contact, Ben Patterson, agreement administrator of the Pipeline Hazard Material Safety Administration Acquisition Services Division, PHF 20, phone number 102-202-366-5102, benpatterson.gov. All questions related with the content of the finding of the opportunity must be with the message of the center of the Fed Connect does not send questions via email. Only technical issue question from the Fed Connect. Please email support at fedconnect.error 1-800-899-6665. Only technical issue question with the Grants Gov. Please email support grantgov at 1-800-518-4726. And this is your funding opportunity, notice of funding opportunity, pipeline safety research competitive academic agreement program.